Hello guys, welcome to Halcyon 6. This game is in early access, but it'll be released in full on September 9 in a couple of days. It's a pixelated roguelike where you control this space station. It's a derelict precursor race space station and we need to rebuild it and save the human race. So we'll start a new game. And here we have the choice of difficulty. We'll pick Commander. You are experienced with space strategy games and enjoy a healthy challenge. This is the way Halcyon 6 is meant to be played. And we have the choice of the tutorial or the main campaign. But the thing is, if we skip the main campaign, we'll miss some story elements that are explained in the tutorial. So even though I already played through it, we'll start with the tutorial. Let's roll. For half a millennium, the spacefaring races of the galaxy fought and conspired against one another for supremacy. But it was the Terran Federation, through the ingenuity and bravery of its officer class, that ultimately prevailed. Through the discovery and utilization of ancient artifacts left over from a long-dead precursor alien race, they put an end to the disastrous series of wars between the factions. One of the precursor artifacts is your home, Halcyon 6. The crown jewel of the Terran precursor discoveries, the Starbase acts as the Federation's home base in the Halcyon sector. Commanded by Admiral Humankind, the Federation's most decorated officer, and protected by the 12th Fleet, the Starbase is permanently staffed with a variety of Federation officers, with the mission of unlocking its mysteries. Today, however, the station has received some unwelcome news, a garbled hypercast ordering the 12th Fleet return to Federation space. With the intention of returning as soon as possible to continue the work on the experiment, Admiral Humankind leaves you in charge of the station. Prepare for warp, says the little robot. So we move over here. And Commander McLaren, Admiral, we've arrived at the rendezvous point and there's no sign of the welcoming force, no hypercast signals detected either. Think we're early. Broaden your signal detection, Captain. The 4th and 8th Fleet are expected to join us as well, and those Titan class ships should be hard to miss. Admiral, I'm picking up something, definitely not Federation in origin, some kind of... Whatever it is, it's getting stronger, sir. I've never seen anything like this before, sir. Some kind of portal. I opened up an enemy portal there. Admiral, I'm suddenly getting multiple ship readings, all heading for our position. They must be coming out of that thing. Unknown hostiles, repeat. Unknown hostiles, you might have to get a little creative here. So now we find ourselves in the first combat. We're getting attacked by the alien fleet here. Commander, they're powering up weapons. We should take the initiative and attack first. So we'll click on the highlighted ability we have here. Every ship has abilities. And we'll pick Incisor Beam, and it does base damage. It has a hit percentage and it exploits vulnerable. And we'll shoot at the spiked alien over here. And all of the attacks have these pretty cool little animations. And we took some of its health bar away. And then we'll use the backstab maneuver over here. And we'll hit the spiky guy down there. And that'll have a chance to disable it in the next turn as an effect. And then we'll select the drone swarm over here. And attack any one of these. And that hit all of their ships, so there's an area effect ability. So some enemies have resistances, and if you right click on them you can see exactly what they're vulnerable to. We can't see it on this one, we haven't discovered it yet. We can't see what it's resistant to either, but we can see all of the ship's powers. And these are different classes of ships. This is a research science ship. And this I think is a tactical one, and that might be an engineering maybe. The ocular vessel seems to be powering up a large attack. Shield yourself with protective field to mitigate the damage. So we'll click that. So that protects all of our ships. And we'll do another bridge shot. And that'll exploit ship dazed. And we have a ship dazed down here. So that's a combo attack. So we'll do more damage to it. It says ship dazed exploited. Great combos occur when an attack exploits a status effect like ship disabled. So now we'll select the acid bombs, and they'll do damage over time to all of the enemies. They're hitting us pretty hard there. When ships are in critical condition, any further damage could result in complete destruction. Use cauterized hull to repair the ship immediately. And we have it down here on the science ship. So we'll repair a little bit. That'll keep them in the fight. So now we'll do another strafing run. Damage all enemies. It doesn't matter which one we target when we hit all of them. Alright, so we need to repair a little bit more. So we have the repair drone here. That'll affect a single ally. So we'll use it here. I'm not going to read all of the tutorial windows, so we can keep moving it along at a little bit of a higher pace. So I will use the Ninja's Doom Cannon as a last resort. It can only be used once, so make it count. Use it down here. On the chitinous monster. Now we have a critical situation up here. It's taking damage over time from hull breach, so it needs to be repaired. The Warlock's cauterized hull repair power has no more uses left. Your only hope is to use stasis lock to disable the enemy, so that they can't attack. That affects a single enemy, so we'll use stasis lock on this one. That worked out, so it can't do anything. Now finish it off with the Paladin's Dreadnought Ram. This is a pretty cool ability where we just ram the enemy ship here. Right in the face. And that's down. We've lost a ship, but the battle is almost won. Select Solar Flare to finish it off. And this will actually also affect ourselves by 25% for sensors offline, but it inflicts 75% sensors offline, which makes it harder for the enemy to hit. There's the solar flare. Admiral, we're picking up more of those portals on the sensor. I've got a lot of incoming enemies there. We're being surrounded. Admiral, we need to jump now. Back to Halcyon 6. I've got... yeah, that's what you don't want to see in space. Some alien that looks like a planet. Oh god. What is that? That thing? Jump now, for God's sake, jump now. Maybe it's the alien variety of a Death Star. Commander, we seem to have lost our hypercast link with Admiral Commander and the 12th Fleet. So back on Halcyon 6, Starbase Commander. I guess we're the new commander then, if Commander got eaten. With the 12th Fleet destroyed and little information as to whether the Federation still even stands, you and your crew are stranded in hostile alien territory, cut off from resupply and in desperate need of more crew. You have little choice but to continue working on Admiral Commander's experiment to try to unlock the power of the station. Meanwhile, enemies may soon catch wind of the Federation's weakness and use that as an opportunity to strike and claim the station for themselves. Choose your first officer. And we have 3 choices. And there are different classes to choose from. This is a science officer, this is a tactical officer, and this is engineering. And they have different abilities. Space combat, those are abilities for the ships that they command. And ground combat, which are abilities we'll use when we are fighting in the station. As we exhume different areas of the station, we might get attacked in a ground battle. And the abilities are different depending on what class you pick. Corban Lau has this Doom Cannon, which I really like. So you can only use it once it seems like, but it will do crazy damage and a ship disabled on yourself. So I think we'll get Corban Lau at this point in time, and later on we'll have the choice to recruit others. Corban Lau was born aboard the TFS Tamerlane in the middle of a warp jump, leading to him gaining the dreaded epithet Warp Baby, which followed him from kindergarten through to academic prep. His deep-seated resentment to the fact that has led him to cultivate an almost impossibly optimistic disposition, while his inner thoughts are left only to himself and to the counselor aboard the ship under his command. So we'll select him, but when we get a new chance to recruit officers, we usually have rerolls up here that we can try and get other random powers than the ones that we have here. So let's go with him. Tactical officers are the most daring and quick-thinking officers in the Federation. Their power repertoire consists of sneak attacks, immobilization attacks and combo attacks, while their buff powers can often add aim and damage boost to friendly units. In space combat, tactical officers are able to command tactical ships, which are the hardest hitting of the 3 ship class types: tactical, science and engineering. I will confirm our choice. So we need a guy with a beard to take care of the situation. Sorry to wake you, Commander, but it looks like we have a situation. Our sensors have picked up a fleet coming our direction. The signals suggest a pirate origin. That's the ship coming here. We should expect them to arrive here in 48 hours. Right next to Halcyon 6. In the case of hostilities, the experiment may be our only hope to defend ourselves. The crew will work around the clock to make the necessary preparations. Commander, the oncoming fleet we detected has just entered our space. It's a single pirate ship, likely hostile, patching them through now. Federation Starbase, our scouts detected the departure of your fleet over a week ago. You are now at the mercy of Admiral Zip and the Zealots clan, and that's the pirates in the universe. You see a little skull there on the ship. Hand over the Starbase and we'll allow you to return to Federation space. Comply and we will commence orbital bombardment. Yeah. This is the scenario screen. This screen will appear during missions that require key decisions such as attacking, retreating or using an officer to gain a special outcome. In this case, the pirate fleet is demanding your surrender. Choose the response below. Hint, you should choose to reject the surrender or the game will end. So we reject that proposal. I forgot you Federals love your precursor toys. Prepare for bombardment, Federation scum. Commander, in light of this development, we should begin initializing the experimental starship creation process now. So we can construct starships. From the base, the Rogue class tactical vessel is currently the only starship the Starbase is able to build. So we'll build that. And we can see the cost here. We'll need 50 crew and 500 of the dark matter. And we have ample resources right now, so we'll build the ship. And it'll be added to the queue. And it'll take 3 days to build. And to skip time, we'll head out here to the star map and we'll press the play button and skip a few days while we build the ship. Commander, we're ready to launch in T-3 seconds. Here we go, our very first starship. Commander, the experiment was a success. All scans suggest this newly constructed ship to be combat ready. She just requires an officer to command her. And we only have one officer, Corban Lau. To dispatch this ship, you'll need to return to the star map. And we'll head over here. And we will select this destination and send the fleet. The approach to the starbase, any enemy fleets wishing to bombard Halcyon 6 will likely take this exact position. And they're already there, so we'll send them. And we'll create a new fleet. We'll select the only ship that we have. Now we also get to see what abilities we have. Harass, crippling shot and teleport explosives. And then we will launch. You can only have 3 ships in a fleet. The pirate ship swoops into attack position and we'll attack them. And we can see the time queue down here. It will start and then the pirate will shoot and then us again. And we have harass, single enemy, 68 to 109 damage, base hit 103% and it exploits sensors offline. So if they had that condition it would exploit that, but they don't. Crippling shot. And it might inflict engines down, but does less damage. Teleport explosive, single enemy. This is damage over time, 14 to 22 up front, and then 26 in 4 rounds. Inflicts sabotage and exploits vulnerable. So let's start with this damage over time. We'll teleport over there, drop some explosives. So let's shot at the space station. and I will just do harass. It doesn't look like we have any combos available really from the abilities that we start out with. So I'll just take it out with harass. So that's our very first victory, and we got some rewards, 22 materials and 37 dark matter. And we need that to build stuff on the station as well as ships. My first victory of many. Commander, we have a long range hypercast coming in, putting it through now. From time to time, the leaders of various factions may contact you via the station bridge. And here's the first one, and he looks pretty pissed. I don't believe we've met. Feel free to refer to me as the Admirax, a title that denotes my supreme command over the pirate clans in this sector. Now, Commander, or should I say acting Commander, my spies tell me I should congratulate you on your new post. They've also informed me that your fleet has fled the sector, leaving you on your own. And so I'm giving you the courtesy of informing you that we'll be visiting you very soon. As this is my territory, and so your station now belongs to me. And unlucky for you, I've united all the pirate clans to help me take it. I highly suggest you turn your tail and return to Federation space. If you are of another mind, stay where you are and prepare for your death. So there's a lot of aggressive talk going on there. Time for death, Federation pick, another pirate fleet. I will avenge the death of Azup Toe Slicer and deliver the station to the Admirax. I applaud your confidence. Next time apply it more constructively. So we have another battle. And they have the ability spray and pray. So pretty much how you'd play Counter-Strike if you're not very good at it. Let's just take a look at them. Yeah, spray and pray, and they only have a very low hit chance and do very little damage. And they're vulnerable to propulsion and engines down, minus 50%. The Shiv-class ships are stolen Federation scout vessels that have been heavily modified by pirates. They are fast and hard to hit, so we can hit them with something that damages propulsion and engines and it'll do more damage. Like this one, crippling shot. I think we will first teleport some explosives over here. They are hitting us for some damage there. And then we'll do a crippling shot and we should get extra damage from the vulnerability to engines down. And we have 75% chance to inflict that, I think. So let's just hit this guy up here. See how much damage we do. Quite a lot, really. One more hit will take it out. So let's do another crippling shot. I'll take that out and probably only need to hit this once to win this fight. And we missed, it evaded, but we're still doing fine. We'll have plenty of chances to hit it. There we go. Down for the count, another victory. You know, I think I actually prefer it when I'm outnumbered. You can always return your fleet to the starbase by first clicking on your desired fleet. We'll do that, and then we'll click on return home because we have damage, so we need to go back, get some more fuel and repair the damage. Commander, the crew is eager to regain our full sensor capabilities. To do that will require an extra source of energy. The good news is the tech research team has figured out a way to harness the station's core reactor with a smaller standard issue diaphragm reactor. So we'll go here to tech research and we'll click on the reactor diaphragm, and this is the tech tree. And it'll expand as we go along. Tech research on how to build a diaphragm reactor on Halcyon 6 to power the starbase generates plus 20 power. I will research this. With the diaphragm reactor tech researched, it's time to create a space in the station for the reactor itself. So click on starbase, and here we get this view. That looks pretty much like like XCOM if you have played that. We can expand our base by excavating and exploring these rooms. So we need to add an officer for the excavation, and we'll do Corp and Lau as that's the only one we have. And it will take 2 days, and it'll reward us with materials. This is a ruined section of Halcyon 6. It must be cleared before anything can be built here. I will confirm this task. And while you explore, these rooms on the derelict space station, you might get attacked by monsters or aliens that live deep in the space station. So let's go back and skip time. Clear out the room. So the commander gained some experience points and some materials, and show location. The exploration team has successfully cleared the room, and we only really have one option that we have researched to build, the Halcyon reactor, and it'll take 4 days to build that. And we can see that we are using the full capacity of power on Halcyon 6, so we do need the extra power that we can get from this. So we'll construct the room, go back to the star map, and also just advance time. The station is fully powered, Commander, and our sensors are back online. So we created the reactor. We've compiled a navigational map of all Federation systems and facilities. As loyal members of the Federation officer class, it is our duty to protect these facilities at all costs. In the case of attack, these facilities will transmit distress signals to us. Depending on the level of danger in the area, you may wish to evacuate them. Distress signals will always be listed in the missions panel, which is down here. We can click on this, and we can see there's a distressed refinery at Ghost Head. And we can take a look at where that is. Send your fleet to the nearby nebula, and that's over here, right next to Halcyon 6. So we'll click on that. The fuel refinery at Ghost Head Nebula is calling for help against a never before encountered alien vessel. So we have to protect the local space where we will get our resources and fight for control. So let's send the fleet. And we still only have Captain allowed to send. So let's launch. And here we start out with a battle immediately. Young Aberrant. Let's take a look at if you know anything about it. It's got resistances to weapons system and vulnerabilities to hull. Cruel science ships use chaos and psychic attacks to debuff and cause damage over time. I think it had resistance to sensors. So let's start out by applying the damage over time with the explosives. We'll do a crippling shot, I guess. We might take the engines out with that. Yeah, engine critical. So now we applied engines down, -10 speed. This ship's engines are down and slowed. We also sabotaged it. This ship is sabotaged and is taking 150% base damage over 4 rounds. So we'll do harass. We might take it out. There we go. Made a little bit of materials and dark matter from that. Good thing you turned up when you did, sir. Whatever that vessel was, it managed to chew up our only sentry ship a few days ago. And that's the refinery base. It did some nasty damage to our refinery also. My crew's pretty shaken up. The good news is we've got some fuel reserves from before the attack. Just give the word, we'll transfer them over to you. So you can see it's a fuel refinery. It has a crew population of 175. It generates 1 fuel a day, and it currently has 15 fuel, so we'll transfer that to our fleet. We need that to move around on the star map. Return your fleet to the starbase to unload any resources you collected. I'll just click return home here. And we've retrieved the fuel and completed the first objective. Got a reward for that. Commander, we've never encountered a biological alien vessel of that mass before. Its appearance in Federation space is worrying, as is the dearth of the signals coming from our core planets. You should send our fleet out to explore nearby sectors in the new Terran Federation zone and make contact with colonies and facilities, but be on the lookout for more of these aliens. In the meantime, you should promote a new officer from the ranks. I prepared a list of suitable officers for you to choose from. And now we get to choose our second officer, and we can see we have 2 rerolls and that will randomize these abilities again. So we already have a tactical, so now we should get a science or an engineering officer. And let's see what they have. Spin maneuver, damage all enemies. It exploits weapons disruption, solar flare. It sort of blinds yourself a little bit, but the enemy more. And nano restoration, feel all allies. Oh, that heals 150. That's very good to have. And let's take a look at this guy. In engineering, broadside salvo, single enemy, a lot of damage and hull breach. Quick tune-up, as also a heal over 3 rounds. It only heals himself though. And ramming speed, we already saw that. That's where he gets up speed and does 150% damage and hull breach by ramming straight into the enemy ship. The ground combat, psionic blast, transfusion, drop isotopes, all enemies. Maybe that makes them drop something that we need. Hazard zone, all enemies exposed 60%, that might be very useful to do the extra damage. Drone takedown, also applies exposed but to a single enemy. I think we'll go with Leonard Vulcanus science, mostly for this nano restoration field that heals everyone that we have in our fleet over 4 rounds. Leonard Vulcanus, our noted biologist, is solely credited for the creation of Vulcanus sludge, an extremely versatile amorphous substance with many potential uses, including fuel processing, camouflage and edible sustenance in truly desperate situations. But yeah, if you didn't like any of these, you could reroll twice. It will reroll all of the officers. But we'll select Leonard. Good choice, sir. You can never have too many science officers, if I say so myself. Now we will need to build a ship for him. In ship construction. And he's a science officer, so we need a science ship. It'll cost 40 crew and 600 dark matter, and it'll take 3 days to build. And we can do that, so we'll build it. Alright guys, we'll leave off here for now, and we'll continue in the next episode and explore more of the game. It's a game that I really like the concept. I also like the pixelated artwork that's gone into the game, as well as the idea with the different races and resources, and even excavating your own station and figuring out what's going on with that, and the alien threat to all of mankind that we are trying to guard against. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.